Just doing a quick trade journal for blue from Tuesday night, last night. So I'll start off with blue's been trending in a sort of pre-breakout mode for a while now. So it's been sort of coming into this range. So we'll draw some. So we're starting to get into this range here. So I've had been in this range for quite a while now. You can see how it's coming in. It's been slowly getting tighter and tighter of recent. This one could actually probably go all the way through. So it's getting sort of coming through. So as it's been coming through, it's sort of come up here. The volume on here, so it had a massive gap up, then it had a huge sort of 6 million shares, 5 million, 5.5 million shares sell off for the day. So it was all the way down, had a bounce, then sort of went a couple of inside days. The volume sort of dried right up. Then it tried to break out, sort of formed in this range for a while, so it could have been on the start of the next sort of leg up. But it's the heavy sellers sort of came in here. So a lot of volume and not much movement, which is sort of a sign that sort of volume coming in probably should have been starting to break up, but instead it sort of hovered, dried right out, and then we got the breakdown, and it fell all the way down from sort of $38 all the way down to $30.29. It's slowly been grinding up, sort of hit this same sort of trend line resistance here, fell off on not that heavy volume, so it's still been averaging sort of 50,000 shares or so. It's slowly been coming down. Now we've finally got a bit of a bounce. We get up through the 20 moving average, sort of got a pin bar off it, starts sort of going out. We get a big sort of fake out below, which is also a sign that you can sort of say, well, it might sort of the big players trying to trick everyone in retail trying to come out. Then it sort of starts jumping. Now we get the big move on Monday, which sort of moved from $42 to over 45. Then so that was Friday. Then Monday, 45 all the way to 50. And then we get this massive gap up all the way to $77. So you can see where if we go down to the 1 minute chart, here's where the gap up happened. So you can see it's come all the way from $48 all the way up to your $81 mark. So if we go in a bit closer here and we'll have a look at it, sort of come up. The volume over the pre-market was quite volatile once it actually moved up. So we got a few big buys here coming through. So we're getting 10,000 shares coming through. Gets a bit of keeps moving up pretty consistently, just on really low volume. Then we get the pinnacle of it sort of hits. We had the last big push up, 7,000 shares. So we get this last candle up. Then it sort of just moves a little bit more up to $81, the even $81 mark. And then starts selling on. You see the huge volume that starts coming in to sell off. It had another push up, which really made no ground for the amount of volume that came in compared to it. Really didn't push up through. Couldn't even get through the 9 MA or the VWAP or anything. So it sort of comes straight through. Just go a bit closer. So as it's coming down, comes down. Tries to have another push up. Sort of pins just around the VWAP area all the way down. So it's had a quite nice little retracement there. Starts to move through, so we're getting close to 925, so we're getting close to the open. So then we got this opening candle. So the opening candle basically opens, goes up, tanks down to about 75, around 76 area, down to 75, 68, and starts rallying back up, goes all the way up to 78.29, so that's a huge range of $3 all the way in the first minute. Then we sort of get an inside bar here of a pin. It's sort of instigating that the huge volume that's come up here is it's at 240,000 shares. Next one you're sitting about 110,000. So just generally with the gap ups, you get a huge volume spike on the first candle, just making up for all this. And then it starts. So then basically the opening range of the open price here gets broken below. Could have been an entry here above this red candle. 77 to 79. So $2 in the space of a minute, which is just a huge run up. The first area that you wanted to clear would be basically around the pre-market highs of $81. So that's where you'd want to see a push through. So if we go to the next one, so it's sort of a lot of people taking profits on that big spike, which is pretty common on your opening range. Then we get another inside bar, so it's sort of looking the same as this. Comes up to about, it's really liking the round numbers around on this stock. You know, it's having really trouble to getting through the round numbers here. So 79, 80, and then we know that there's the $81 level there. Still got huge buying on here, so we go for another run up. We get all the way up to $80.50, and it starts pulling back. Then we get all the way up nearly to $81, so nearly the pre-market high, and then hits straight back, and it's the first bear candle that we've had in the last few minutes. So it's really starts over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're into the first 5-minute candle, which is basically this one here. So that's just the same 5-minute candle as the 1 minute here. Then we sort of have a look how we're going. So by this stage, it's nearly gone for the pre-market high. It hasn't quite made it. There've been a lot of people that are trying to jump in to try and get basically past this $80.50 level, get in, get a bit of a spike up there. Hopefully they took profit pretty quickly, and then it just tanks all the way down to $77. Quite big selling pressure now coming in. Get another inside bar, sort of reverse pin. By this stage we say, okay, so it's sort of starting to flag out a little bit. This could be a bear flag if you're looking at. It seems like it's finding some sort of support on the VWAP line. Makes for a bit of a charge through up through 78.50 again, but it closes all the way back down. But we do have a lot of buyers coming in now. Gets a sort of same thing. It's a doji, so we don't know which way it's going. So you'd sort of start to be looking at, you know, breaks of this to keep, if you can keep the movement upward going. Or we've also got a pretty say again a little bit of a support area here. So depending if it's going to break through and break through the VWAP. See what happens next. So then we have the fall off, so it can't make it anymore. Makes the decision to go down after the indecision. Gets down to 76.50 mark on pretty low volume. Keeps going again, still on even smaller volume. Then the big volume comes in for a big push all the way down to 74. So far we've got a $7 range within the first couple of minutes. We see here, some people call that a 2-bar reversal. So it's sort of come up, touch the pre-market highs, come back down, and now we're starting to really tank down there. We get another inside candle, so the volume's a lot lighter now. And then we have a last little push, it looks like. It's pushed all the way down through 73.50, but then we close back on the highs at 75. So by this stage I'd be wanting to have a look and see, well, if we sort of can get over this 75.20 level, I'd be looking to go long. So we'll see what happens. Get a little inside bar, so it's sort of consolidating around the $75 mark. Still got some sellers in there, but still not too bad. Looking like it's going to go. Then we have a push up from 75 through to 75.58. Get a push all the way to 76.50. So that's where you'd be looking at getting long. You could call that a triangle, whatever you want, but sort of just looking like it was flagging. It was at the end. You've got a bias, like I had a bias on, obviously, because it's moved up so far, and you just want the short price movement. That's all you want. You don't want to get like a move from here all the way to the highs. You just want a short price movement. So right now, get another. Looks like it's flagging again. With these big moves, like there's every chance that the algos just kick in. They just tank all the way down. So you want to take profits quickly. Get a bit more of a boom. We're still on light volume. By now, your next sort of level you'd be wanting to go for would be the red to green move. So you got the price level. So the opening here was at the 77.09 level. So this is where you'd be wanting to see some sort of confirmation that we've gone from red on the day, and we're going to go up and go to green. So now we're still flagging here. You can generally, a lot of the time, you can get a little bit of a shakeout through these moves, but this one decided to go. It's going up, so we got all the way to 77. Like I said earlier on, it had a lot of trouble on all the round numbers going through here, but it's also closed right at the highs. we're still getting a bit of a still getting a pattern of, you know, not much volume coming in, sort of diminishing, which is a bit of a sign that the price action, we're not too sure what's happening at the moment. Then we get this sort of fake through the red to green move, and then it tanks back down. So we're sort of getting some movement up there, but it could also be trapping a lot of people. So we'd have to keep our stop nice and tight here in case it comes down and flicks us out. Because generally, when you move through the red to green, you want all the buyers and the stops and everything, all the people that are short here, you want all the stops being set here. So as you get through here, you want a big spike. So it still did spike. Still did spike 40 cents, but just had trouble getting up through the 77.50 level. Have a look at this, sort of spikes back down, then goes back up, gets actually a bit higher, actually touches the 77.50 mark. Starts flagging out again, a little bit higher. By this stage I'll be getting very nervous because you'd expect it sort of be starting to move up. Have a look at the 5-minute chart, how it's looking. So this is what the 5-minute chart's looking. So it can look like a pin bar that's coming down, it's going to reverse back down, but we don't know until the next candle comes in. Coming for a bit of indecision. Last time we had indecision, we had a bit of a movement, quite a big movement down. This time we could be having a movement up, we're not too sure. Sort of the inside bar, more sellers than more buyers than sellers, so it's looking a little bit better at this stage. We get a bit of a move down, which could be the shakeout, but more sellers are coming in by now. A little bit of move up, really low volume. I'd be starting to get a little bit worried if I was in here. Coiling up, it's really starting to coil, so it's really starting to get really tight. So by this stage, you know, you can be looking at this. Say if you're instigating a new trade, you'd be looking at this flag with the stop. I'd be putting the stop down below this candle here where the shakeout was, 76.50 level. A lot of the times these things can spike up, come back down, tag you out, and then keep running. So you just want to make sure your stop's in the right position. And there you are, bang, break of this level. You got a perfect flag breakout. We'll look there. So once the 1 minute breaks there, up through the 77, all the way, nearly a buck. Sort of rush through a little bit. So this makes a big move up, then slowly steady, so we get a massive move up, big heap of sellers come in, and then we saw the volume drives off quite a bit. So this is quite an orderly pullback, so I'd still be looking at this to be quite bullish, even though it's sort of coming down on the VWAP. Then we have another bounce, so this is another bounce up, so at the same level. So there's obviously a lot of buyers down on this level around the $77 mark. Quite a big move there, another big move just on that break up, and then it comes back down. Another bounce around the same levels again, so it sort of moved up a little bit where the buyers are coming in. Then we come back down, tag down on the on this level, and then you'd be watching for a move either way. Bang, we get another huge heap of buyers around the $77 level, all the way up to 77.50, 78.50. So it's quite a big move there. Then we get another tag just over here where our original breakout period was. So if we have a look at here, we've sort of tagged up there, gone back down, and we'll see how it keeps going. So now we're starting to get, you can see that sort of making higher lows, getting higher and higher, then we get a few short moves, then we get bang, 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 bang. Then we start moving up, now we're having a big push up all the way up through here. We get a little bit of a sell-off, which is okay, that's all started. Part of the pullback, then we get more buying. All these buying candles just shutting at the highs, so it's going quite strong. Then we get that move all the way up through the pre-market highs and just whacks it straight through from $81 to $82. So that's quite a big move on that leg from 77 to 82. And it just keeps going all the way up to 84. Then we finally have our first candle that makes a new low. So just be so it's just a massive move there. All this is by sort of 10:45 AM. Now we start flagging, move down a little bit, get a bit of a pin off the 82 level and the 20 EMA. A lot of people will be taking profit by now. Then we're also setting up for another. So we're starting to set up for another flag pattern, just taking a bit longer. So we probably by now we'd start to move to the 5 minute candle. can see here that as it's coming down, so move this a bit more. So we start getting this other pattern, which is quite so we're getting this pattern that's quite orderly coming down. We've got a few buyers come in, sort of doesn't make a new high, lower, can't get past that, so you get sort of a flat top here. So that would definitely be a key area that you'd want to be watching for a breakthrough, the $82 level. Just that round number is just going to be key if it can make it through there again. So then it comes down, makes a couple more lows, still making lower. This is the first 1 minute candle to make a higher high. So I've had a bit more of volume come through. Again, it's not confirmed. I'd want to confirm once we sort of move through this $82 level. So we doji under it, bit of a pin on there, bounces off the $81 mark, goes through the $81 mark, and then we have a move back down. So now this flag's sort of petering out a little bit. We've sort of gone to a range, and then we have the buyers start stepping in again and get through that $82 mark. Once it gets through the 82, you'd be wanting more confirmation sort of going through. Then we get that jump up to 83. So by this stage, you're up a dollar or so. So you want to be making some, taking some profits on here anyway. Then it makes all the way back up to the highs. So obviously it's having trouble on the $84 mark. So it makes it all the way up here and then pins off it. Now we'd want to see because there's so much volume coming through. Last time it made a move that big, it was sort of these candles here, so it's still pushing up pretty hard, but still closing down below. Then we have a move all the way up to 84 and closes at the highs, but we're on a lot lower volume, but you'd be expecting it to sort of break through there. So that's definitely the next key level. Gets all the way up to 85, and then touches sort of 85.50, and then reverses back down. So then the main moves for the day. Then it starts reversing as it starts coming back. Starts making a few small candles, tries to make a little push here, push up, doesn't really make much substance, and that'll be about it for the day as it sort of peters off. Makes another run up, gets all the way up to 84. Oh, actually nearly touches the high again. A lot more buyers coming in now, bigger sellers, and then we get started seeing these big pushes down. So people are really starting to take profits all the way to the end of the day.